Good morning, my practical rebels. Welcome to Saturday morning's early morning intuitive guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, and we have a card from a deck that we haven't seen in quite some time. So I was glad this one was the one that said pick me this morning. So it is the Native Spirit deck by Denise Lynn, who is of Cherokee descent. And she just finished, good morning, Peggy, welcome. She just finished her annual clutter clearing thing on Hay House, which I always enjoy. And so got me thinking about, good morning, Carolyn, welcome, my own clutter clearing group that I did last year. And I'm thinking I'm actually going to mess around with that and maybe repurpose it so that it's more like an audio and people could buy it and listen to it anytime they wanted. You know, I think a semi-annual thing would be good. Clear our clutter, get things out of the way so that we're ready to move forward with this new version of life that we're creating. Good morning, Lucy. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the hearts, Carolyn. I appreciate that. So, Native Spirit deck. Today also, I'm going to be traveling to Green Bay, and thank you for the sunshine and the smiles. Good morning, Cindy. Welcome. We're traveling to Green Bay for a networking luncheon where I'm actually going to be talking about the intentional community. So I'm pretty excited about that. I've got some flyers to hand out and ready to get this thing on the road, man. And the card for today fits beautifully. Surprise, surprise, right? Of course it does. So Denise Lynn, Native Spirit deck. Our card is Flowing River. Flowing River. Isn't that beautiful? So let's just stare at the picture and take some nice deep breaths. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. I want you to imagine being in this river, just floating. You're not paddling furiously, you're just floating. Just being with the river. Wherever it flows, you go. Think about that for life. That's a theme for our lives. Wherever it flows, we go. When we don't battle the flow, things go so much better. So much better. So just, you can close your eyes. Just imagine yourself in that river. Feeling the temperature of the water. Feeling that gentle tug as it's moving you along. It's not a raging river. It's just a gently moving river. Designed to get you where you're going. How's that? All right, so here's the card. Just listening with that intuitive part of yourself that knows what you need to pull out of this and take with you. Flowing river. Card meaning, everything is falling into place because you aren't resisting the drift of the great river of life. I like that word, drift. So it's not like it's yanking you along. It's just guiding you. The drift of the great river of life. It is time to let go. You're entering a period of gracious ease and flow. Isn't that a great way to put it? Gracious ease and flow. All is unfolding perfectly and with good timing. When you're in a state of flow, you aren't pushing the river to go faster, and you aren't swimming against it. Let go of the shore and enjoy the ride. And for those of you who haven't ever read it, I have a blog post on my website, which is empowermentandpurpose.com, all little letters all together. And I have a blog post on there called Row, Row, Row Your Boat Gently Down Life's Stream. And it talks about all this flow stuff. Thank you, Carolyn. I'm looking forward to it. I'm just going to show up, be me, and let's see what happens. See who's attracted to the project. Your native spirit wants you to know, rivers have personality and carry energy just as animals and plants do. From the Maoris to the Australian or Aborigines and to other native cultures throughout the world, it's believed that it's important to listen to the language of the river. If you aren't feeling the smooth currents of life, it might mean that you're trying to control situations or that you're being self-critical or judgmental. The way to move into flow, here's your answer, here's your guidance. Good morning, Diane. My guess is we'll do some river time tomorrow. The way to move into flow is through gratitude and appreciation. and by allowing others to support and help you. That kind of mirrors what we've been talking about in the Sharon Ellison book, that it's one thing to ask for guidance. I think this was also in the that card from Gabriel Merrihew, that, you know, when you're looking for guidance, it's best not to be putting your hand up like this and keeping it at bay. When guidance comes your way, being open to receiving it, not fighting the flow of the river. And sometimes that guidance is uncomfortable, yes, but much better to breathe into it and allow it than to fight it, push it off. Then the message gets louder oftentimes, and sometimes louder isn't all that pleasant either. Heed the Native American saying, it's best to ride the horse in the direction that it's going. Good morning, Barb. Glad you are here. This means that when the card-flowing river chooses you, which it has today, here we are. I just think it's so pretty. I just like sitting and staring at it. When this card chooses us, which it did today, you're being told to let go and go with the flow. If there's something or someone you need to forgive, this is the time. This is also the time to forgive yourself and just let go. Good morning, Renee. We are always hardest on ourselves. Beating ourselves up, calling ourselves names, judging, shaming, all that crap. All that needs to go by the wayside. Loving ourselves. I was doing some work with Bobby Silverstone yesterday. It was my turn to receive, and that was a piece of the project, or of what we were doing, was helping that child self who felt very misunderstood to feel a part of, to feel connected, to feel like she belonged. So that was good. So it's a time to forgive yourself and just let go. So here is the journey, and I want you to imagine that this is happening right now. So again, close your eyes. If you are driving, don't close your eyes. But do this later, okay? Do this later. And it's a literal thing you can do also, which I think is really, it's very helpful when we can turn something that we're working on into a tangible part of the project. Oh, good. I'm glad you're watching the Tapping Summit. Wonderful. That is an amazing thing they offer every year. So for those of you who aren't aware, I had posted it on my page a bit ago, but it's thetappingsolution.com hosts a tapping summit every year, and it's free, and they have various topics for days, like there's depression or anxiety or letting go of self-blame, or they have all kinds of topics. And then it's free at the time it's going on, but you can also purchase it after the fact. So check them out, thetappingsolution.com. Amazing stuff. Yeah. So here's the journey. Again, eyes closed if you can, just some nice deep breaths. And I want you to imagine this for now, but then literally do it when you take a shower. As you shower and the water flows over your body, imagine that everything is flowing in your life. So just feel that now. Good morning, Mel. Glad you are here. Welcome. From Tasmania, Australia. Fabulous. Welcome. So you're in the shower. You're imagining the water flowing over you. Flow. Anything where you can connect with flow is good. You might stand there with a cup of water and just pour it and watch it flow. You might go and sit by the river and watch the river. And different rivers have different personalities, as she says in the card here. So going to the Mississippi River is going to be a different experience than going to a little burbling creek. Try different places. See what speaks to you. I have an affinity for the Fox River that runs through Appleton here, and it moves pretty swiftly. But there are others that just kind of meander along. There's the Autrain River in Upper Michigan, which is wonderful for kayaking, so inner tubing, all kinds of stuff. But you start in one place, you hop in, it's twisty, turny, windy, all over the place, kind of like life, and you end not that far away from where you went in. It turned and corkscrewed so much that it came back almost to the same spot where you started. Good morning, Joe. Welcome. We have flowing river today. Flowing river. So again, as you're standing there, feeling that water running over your body, feeling that flow, move a hand into the water. I want you to feel the water flowing over the palm of your hand. Just feel that. Your hands, your arms, those instruments of doing. Just Indian River. Well, if you ever get a chance to do the train, it is wonderful. Feeling the water flowing around you. If you want to imagine immersing in a river, we can do that right now too. Good morning to all 10 of you. Glad you're here. Let's do that. So I want you to imagine that you can just ease yourself into the river. You can walk in from the bank. It's a very simple process, just slipping into the river until just your head and shoulders are up. And you're drifting along and you're very buoyant, so you don't have to worry about staying afloat. Very easy to stay afloat. Drifting along that river of life. I want you to watch the shoreline. What do you notice there? There are messages there on the shore for you. Just observe. Be that curious observer. I wonder where this river is going to take me. This river of my life. Where is it going to take me? And you can see other people bobbing along too, because they're flowing in the river of life too. And sometimes you're flowing right beside somebody, and they're a part of your flow for a while, and then they may go off in a different direction. There are those who flowed with you through much of your life's river. There are those who will be with you until the end of your flow this round. But just enjoying that flow. And then perhaps noticing that there's some rocks coming up ahead, a difficult period in life. You don't have to flail and fight trying to avoid the rocks. Move with the flow. The flow goes around the rocks very easily, doesn't it? We can flow around those difficulties very easily too when we don't fight. When we stay in flow, when we don't allow events, people, circumstances to pull us out of flow, we just keep flowing. Doesn't need to slow us down. We just kind of go with that, the currents of life. And when we're not fighting that flow, they are smoother currents, right? They are smoother currents. So if you notice that there's a lot of turbulence in your life right now, do some breathing. Do some breathing just to move yourself back into a flow. If things seem dark right now, do some breathing. Move yourself into flow. For those of you who like the tapping, do some tapping. If nothing else, just do the karate chop spot, which is kind of a reset button, and collarbone. That's usually a good way to shift something if you don't want to run through the whole protocol. If you have a particular spot that you really like, perhaps you like the eyebrow spot. Do that. Do that. Again, I always tell people, my coaching clients, the hardest thing to remember is to do this. Yes, flowing around the events. We just kind of keep going. Imagine you're water. Imagine you're that water. You find a way, make a way. You flow around. You move through crevices. Any little spot, the water can go, right? We don't have to be Bucky about stuff, all right? We've been taught, and again, Sharon Ellison would say that we have war in our language. So, you do the collarbone spot often. Good, 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 good. Yes. If nothing else, it's very soothing, which then can help you move back into flow. And as Denise Lynn says in the card, one of the best ways to get back into flow is practicing some gratitude. For what am I grateful? For what am I grateful? So let's say it was a really bad day. I was sitting at a restaurant yesterday with my cousin Lori. We had a wonderful time. And there were two women sitting at a table over there, and they were out shittying each other in terms of whose day was worse. And I was like, what a colossal waste of your time. Let it go. Let it go. Now let's talk about the gratitude. What do you have for gratitude? Let's not compete on who had a shittier day. Yuck. That's not good energy. That's not what we want. We want this flow, right? We want this flow. So I'm going to show you the card again because I just think it's so pretty. You see the geese in the background as the sun, I think, is coming up. I'm not sure. I view it as coming up. If you'd rather have it be sunset, more power to you. That's amazing. Take off your Apple Watch when tapping. The heart rate alert will go off. Oh, that is funny. That is funny. So, too many gadgets. Too many gadgets. So, being in flow. Being in flow. How do you get back in flow? Put some ideas in the feed. How do you stay in flow? For me, the breathing is a huge one. I like using essential oils, so I may smell one of the oils for a while. I've been using Awaken a lot lately. That's been pretty cool. Although I have noticed that my sense of smell is somewhat attenuated, and I wonder if that's fallout from COVID that I had way back when. So, flow, flow, flow. Body scan. Diane uses body scan. Okay, so for those of you who aren't familiar with that, just close your eyes. Scan your body from head to toe. And what you're looking for is any areas of discomfort. So I have a little tweak in my left lower rib cage. So I'm going to pay attention to that. Pick a spot if there's any areas of discomfort, and I want you to breathe right there. As if you're breathing energy into that area with the inhale, and exhaling right through that area, ventilating it, as Pema Chodron says. And you can ask, what do you want me to know? So what does that area want me to know? That I haven't been moving my body enough. I've been walking, but I haven't been stretching, any of the other stuff that's good for a body to experience. So I will heed that. I will do some stretches. What about for you? What is your body telling you? Body scan's a really great way to go about doing this. Pay attention. It's paying attention to those subtle messages. Remember the other day when we went within and we were in a still inner space and listening to the guidance? This is kind of a quick and simple way to use your body for messages. There's a couple of things. Bessel van der Kolk talks about the body remembers. The body remembers all of what's going on. So if you've had a trauma in the past that you haven't allowed yourself time to deal with, the body remembers. And there's the one, the issues are in your tissues. It gets stored in our bodies, right? So we want to clear our bodies. The shower can be a great place to do this. Imagine the flow, just cleanse all the crap going down the drain, washing it down over and over and over again, just really cleansing yourself, all right? So for today, what I would like you to do, if you can, I'd like you to access an actual river. I'd like you to go sit by the water, and I'd like you to spend some time there. Good morning, Pat. I'd like you to just be with the water, all right? And again, kind of pulling on one of the cards that we've had in the past from the Nature Portals deck. Don't try to understand it. Don't try to name it. Don't try to analyze it. Just be with it. So that's what I'd like you to do today. Spend some time with water. If you don't have access to a river, good. I'm glad you will, Diane. Awesome. If you don't have access to a river, maybe you stand there at the sink and watch the water run for a little bit. Maybe you, as you're drinking out of your glass, you're imagining that water washing you clean, whatever. But spend some time with water today. Women are the water keepers, so let's spend some time with water. Have an awesome day. I'll see you again tomorrow. I'll let you know how my little foray at the business luncheon goes today. And remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Enjoy the flow. Sitting in the spa, that's a good one too. Enjoy your flow. Bye-bye.